I had been counting the days for nearly 7 months. My wife, Commander Elise Rivera, had been serving aboard the USS Harry S. Truman, deployed on a crucial naval mission. As a senior officer, her role was vital and dangerous. Every video call was brief, often interrupted by duties, yet her spirit never wavered. She lived for her country, and I lived for the day she'd walk back into our home again. Finally, that day came. We live in a small, tightly regulated neighborhood governed by the dreaded HOA. Most folks kept their heads down and followed the rules, but one person thrived on making lives miserable: Karen Delacour, the self-appointed enforcer of everything petty. From measuring grass blades to sniffing trash bins, she wielded HOA power like a tyrant. The morning Elise was due to arrive, I decorated our porch with a giant banner, "Welcome home, Commander Rivera." Red, white, and blue balloons waved with the breeze, and a few veteran neighbors even offered to help set up. It was our tribute to a woman who had given so much. As her car pulled up, I could feel my heart pounding. The SUV door opened, and Elise stepped out in her Navy uniform, perfectly crisp, medals pinned, posture firm and proud. She barely had time to take a breath before I wrapped her in a hug. Neighbors clapped and cheered, but not Karen. She stormed out from her door across the cul-de-sac like a hawk who spotted a mouse in church, arms crossed, eyes bulging. She scanned the porch like it was a crime scene. "What is all this?" she demanded, approaching me while Elise was still greeting the others. "Did you get approval for this display?" I turned to her, surprised. "Karen, my wife just returned from 7 months at sea defending this country. This is her welcome home." Karen scoffed. "I don't care if she came back from Mars. You didn't file a decorative request. That banner is unauthorized. Those balloons against code." Elise, ever composed, stepped forward. "Ma'am, is there a problem here?" Karen looked her up and down with barely hidden disdain. "And you are?" "My name is Commander Elise Rivera, United States Navy." Karen smirked. "Well, Commander, you might follow naval protocol, but around here we follow HOA rules." Then she pulled out her phone and muttered, "I'm calling the police. This is a violation. There's unauthorized signage and potential traffic obstruction. Plus, we don't allow military demonstrations. It disturbs the peace." Elise's eyes narrowed. I could feel the storm brewing. Exactly 5 minutes after Karen's call, 2 police cruisers pulled into our street, lights flashing. They parked right in front of our home. Karen practically ran up to them like a child tattling in school. "Officers, thank goodness. This couple is violating multiple HOA regulations. There's illegal signage, a gathering without a permit, and I suspect there may even be fireworks planned." One of the officers, a tall man with a buzz cut and weathered hands, nodded and walked over to Elise and me. "Ma'am, sir," he said respectfully, "can we speak with you for a moment?" Before I could answer, Elise stepped forward, fully in uniform. "Certainly, Officer." Commander Elise Rivera, Navy ID 0547729TR, recently returned from duty aboard the USS Truman. The officer blinked. His partner, a younger female cop, quickly checked the badge Elise showed. Her expression shifted the moment she read it. "Wait, you're the Commander Rivera?" she asked, stunned. "My cousin's serving on the Truman. He talks about you all the time." Elise gave a small nod. "Then I hope I've set a good example." The senior officer's entire posture changed. He saluted. "Commander, thank you for your service." Karen, standing just behind them, looked absolutely baffled. "Wait, why are you saluting her? She's the one breaking the rules." The officer turned to Karen with a calm yet firm tone. "Ma'am, I suggest you lower your voice. You're speaking to a ranking officer of the United States Navy." But she violated the HOA. The younger officer stepped in now. "There is no law being broken here. Decorations in tribute to a returning service member are protected under the Freedom to Display the American Flag Act, and we're not going to enforce HOA codes that aren't legal violations." Karen's face went red with frustration. "So you're not going to do anything?" The senior officer looked Elise square in the eyes. "Commander, do you require assistance with anything today?" Elise gave a slight smirk. "No, officers. Everything's under control." The cops turned to leave, but not before the younger one whispered, "Ma'am, if you ever need a speaking guest at the academy, call us. You'd inspire a lot of kids." Karen, now sputtering incoherently, stomped back toward her house. The celebration resumed. My wife, though dignified and serious in uniform, allowed herself a rare smile as the kids from the neighborhood handed her small flags they'd made. The elderly vet from down the street saluted her, and she returned it with grace. But the real show wasn't over yet. 2 days later, I received a letter hand-delivered and unsigned. It was a formal violation notice from the HOA. Karen was trying to fine us $500 for unauthorized decorations and unlawful gathering. Elise read it and raised an eyebrow. "Want me to handle this?" I nodded. The following evening, we attended the HOA board meeting, the same one Karen often dominated. As Elise entered, still in uniform, the entire room turned silent. "I'd like to address this violation," she said, holding up the letter. "Not only is this retaliation for a lawful celebration, but it's also an insult to the sacrifices of every military family. Karen opened her mouth, but one of the other board members cut her off. "Commander, please, go ahead," Elise continued. "I respect the need for order, but when a community prioritizes trivial decora regulations over honoring its defenders, something is very wrong." Another board member, who had been quiet all year, finally spoke up. "I motion to void this violation and formally apologize to Commander Rivera." The motion passed unanimously. Karen, humiliated and silenced, slunk into her chair later. The board invited Elise to lead the upcoming 4th of July community event as Grand Marshal. She accepted, but only on one condition: that no HOA member, no matter how petty, ever disrespect another service member or veteran again. Let this be a place of unity, not bureaucracy. Cheers filled the room. Respect is not demanded, it's earned. And when you disrespect those who defend your right to complain, you might find yourself learning a hard lesson. The true strength of a community lies in gratitude, not rules.